Good day. This week we got something a little bit different. Today I am going to be playing with lighting. As you can tell, I'm not that good at it, and it's time I learn a little bit. Now, I thought I would start by using my Refuel lighting system that I have. I got a couple of them. It's by Digitpower. Now, if you've seen my older review video on it, you know I love this setup. These lights are phenomenal. I've had no issues with them. Their lifespan has been absolutely great. I couldn't have asked for a better light. So with that being said, I want to continue to use it in my current setup. I don't want them to just sit in a corner. I want to be able to use it for overhead lighting and, you know, being able to kind of get the glare off of myself as well as whatever I might have on the bench here. What I did was I bought a whole bunch of diffusion screens and a whole bunch of different random other items. Some of it I probably won't even use. One thing I wanted to do with these lights from Digitpower, which once again, not sponsored by them, not paid for by them, nothing, all out of my own pocket. I love these lights. I recently looked for more online. I couldn't find any for sale in Canada here. So, and I went to their website and I couldn't find anything on their website. So these might be discontinued, but if you get a chance to grab these, if you get a really good deal on them, score them. They're really great. But I use my lights on, well, I have one here on the mic stand, and I use another one on a tripod, which I can kind of put wherever to light areas. Light becomes an issue in a workshop here when you do have so much stuff that has shiny surfaces, you know, even from, you know, the mic stand here to my CNC machine to whatever tools I'm using. You get a glare. What I had bought for these, well, it wasn't for these, it was for another light that I was thinking about getting. But then I was like, no, I'm not going to spend that much money, another $100 or something on a light that I already have two really, you know, good lights here. Why not just use them? So I ordered a diffuser, and it came, let me grab it here. I had bought this with intent of purchasing a new light. Thought about it, I am one of those guys, I'm cheap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to print a 3D enclosure to go over top of the light here. So that way I'm able to use this diffusion hood, or whatever you want to call it. But I'll just bring it out here. So here it is. It's just one simple little package, and it folds out. And then you're supposed to put your light in there. As you can tell, it's fairly big there. And when comparing it to the light here, you can definitely see the difference. Let me just pop this guy off here. There we go. Okay, so as you can see here, when I go to put it into here, it's like, let me get in here. So when putting it in, as you can tell, it's got way too much play on it. There's no way you're putting Velcro around it, just because it's not opening up as wide as it should be, or it's not being spread out far enough to accommodate the light. As you can see right here, there's lots of room to play. So now I want to come up with a little 3D printed item that I can put on the light here. and be able to use this diffusion. So making this fit on this is my goal. I'm going to go onto the Amazon page that I bought this, find out what compatible lights are for it, pick one of them at random, go to the site where it is and search for it and see if I can get the dimensions off of it. So that way I know that it's going to fit with at least a design that I make to that light. So what we'll do is we'll head over to the computer and I'll get this designed up and I'll show you what I did. So here we go. First thing that I have to do is I have to go to the website and check out what the dimensions of the cameras that will actually fit with my diffuser that I bought from Neweer. So let's see if we can find those here. There we go. So we have the dimensions here. So now we can go ahead and get designing. But the first thing I want to say is I took these dimensions and I ended up making this design here. The only issue I had here was this is what I thought that the dimensions should have been. Not the case. So after I designed and printed this one, I ended up having to redesign it once I had fully printed it out. I ended up having to stop. I was going to do it as two parts and then just glue them together and put it together. But I ended up having to kill the one print just because I was using the full height of the light that was there. So I didn't need that much. I just needed the overhanging part that it actually would grip onto. So after I did that, I took it and I redesigned it to something a lot more simpler that would actually work. This ended up being the design that I went with here. So I 3D printed it and we'll go to the shop and I'll show you what the outcome was. Now that we're back, this is what this here is what I ended up doing for my first print. As you can tell, it's fairly big, but I thought that's what it needed to be because I got the dimensions off of Amazon's website there and it looked like it was right, so I'll go with it. So this is a lesson that I learned myself during this design process. Not all the time. The dimensions that they do give you on Amazon are going to be 100% correct, but that's okay. This is just garbage now. Maybe I can do something with this later on, but for now it'll just go into the recycling bin. The final print managed to work fairly well here. I'll bring it up here. So I have it around the Digitpower housing here and it fits beautifully. I have access to the USB on the back here as well as the power and the charge cable port here. I just have a rubber washer and screw in there holding it down for now until I get something a little bit more permanent, but for now that does the trick. What I should have done is actually angled in a little bit on this bottom corner here to allow for more movement on the screw here, because I had to grind it down a little bit so that way I was able to tighten it up enough to get it on. But all in all, it's just a little too big, so I'll probably just either use a shorter screw in there, or I'll just end up 3D printing a smaller design or something that comes out further. I don't know, something that will help me with making that a little nicer and cleaner looking there. But all in all, it seems to be working fairly good. And then yeah, you have your 4 brightness settings on it, so you can definitely use it to light your area pretty well. And yeah, I am quite happy with my Digitpower lights, and I'm glad I 3D printed a little housing to go with a product on the market that was cheap enough for a diffuser. One thing I could have done is I could have just bought a bunch of fabric and 3D printed a whole enclosure and then use that. But what I did was I just wanted to make an adapter and use an existing product that wasn't meant for it, which it turned out fairly well. And I'll just undo it here, and you can see there it is. That's it. Nothing too spectacular. And there you go. So you have your casing for it to go around. And then if I don't want to have the diffuser on, I can just use it this way. And as you can tell, it's pretty bright. Anyways, that is it for this week. I'll come up with something else to do for next week, but this is it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you don't, hit the thumbs down. Make sure to subscribe today. Thanks for watching, everyone. You have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Take care, eh?